Hey everybody, Simbasic this here again to talk to you about what I bought and what I watched today. We're at my local Pathmark store today. It's a grocery chain. I'm not sure how far they spread out. Even here in Pennsylvania, we don't seem to have many of them. I come across one every now and then. The only one I even know of around my area is the one by my work that I try to visit at least once a month. And the reason why I go out there is because for a grocery chain, they actually have a pretty decent selection of DVDs and Blu-rays. A lot of obscure stuff. They do get in the typical, newer titles that you see at every grocery store, but they do get a lot of really obscure random titles that I don't even see in other stores like Walmart or Target or Best Buy or anything like that. Titles that, I would normally have to order online to get, this store usually has, and they have them for really cheap, great prices as well. So if you have a Pathmark store by you, I definitely recommend running in, checking out their DVD and Blu-ray section. You'll probably find some great titles. So I ran through today, picked up 5 titles. Let's take a look at what I got. The first title I picked up was The Penguins of Madagascar, New to the Zoo. I've been getting into this show recently. I think it's pretty funny. I've really been enjoying it. I love animation, so of course I'm liking that. All in all, it's a pretty decent TV series. Unfortunately, they have been releasing them these single disc releases, which is a couple episodes randomly thrown on each disc, which definitely sucks. And I know I'm going to end up regretting buying these because it seems that every time I buy these single disc releases, they end up releasing the season. So I would not be surprised if really soon we see The Penguins of Madagascar, the complete first season. I would definitely count on probably seeing that soon because I picked up like 5 of these recently. So what are you going to do? But definitely happy to have this. Got it for $4.95. Great deal. The next title I picked up was The Birdman of Alcatraz, starring the great Burt Lancaster. I've been wanting to see this one for a while now. I've heard great things over the years. Apparently it's a fantastic movie. Definitely one I wanted to check out, so for $5, definitely had to grab it. Then I picked up The Woman in Red, a movie I used to watch all the time when I was a kid. I think HBO would play this movie at least once a day, so I've seen this movie about 100 times. I do have it on beta tape, however, as you guys know, I can't watch my beta tapes because both my beta players are not working, so definitely wanted to pick this up on DVD. Definitely looking forward to checking it out. The next title I picked up was actually a double feature set of How to Make a Monster and Blood of Dracula. I've wanted to get this set for a good long while now, simply for How to Make a Monster. I do have the remake. I've seen the remake. It's okay. It's alright. But I hear the original is fantastic. Apparently it's just ridiculous, over the top, just complete cheeseball. And if you know me, I'm really into those type of movies. So really looking forward to checking that one out. I wanted to see it for a good long while now. So I was very happy to get this. As far as Blood of Dracula, really don't know anything about it, haven't really heard anything, but definitely looking forward to checking that one out too. And for only $4.99, this was a fantastic buy. And then I saved the best for last, a movie that I wanted to get on DVD for a long while now. I already had this one on VHS, and I never really thought I was ever going to replace my VHS, simply because I never come across this title, and when I do see it, it's usually online, and for a price I don't want to pay. But I got this today for only $3.99, and that was A Kid in Aladdin's Palace. This is actually the sequel to A Kid in King Arthur's Court. I'm sure a lot of you probably didn't even know this Kid in King Arthur's Court had a sequel, but it definitely does. I've yet to watch this, though. I just never got around to watch my VHS copy. But now that I have it on DVD, I am definitely going to check this one out. I'm sure it'll be pretty cheesy, pretty ridiculous, probably really bad, because I am a fan of A Kid in King Arthur's Court. I do like the movie, but it is a pretty bad movie. It's cheesy, it's ridiculous, but it is a fun, like, Disney kid movie. So I do enjoy it, but I can only imagine that the non-Disney sequel is probably going to be pretty bad. But still, I really look forward to checking this one out. The fact that I got it for only $3.99 on DVD is a great deal. Very excited about this one. So that's it for what I bought today. So now into what I watched. As I'm sure you guys have heard, we unfortunately lost Davy Jones. If you do not know who Davy Jones is, that's kind of sad. Davy Jones is a great musician, a great actor. I grew up watching the Monkees. I grew up with the Monkees. I'm a big Monkees fan. My aunt, she was obsessed with them when she was younger. My aunt was in high school. She was obsessed with the Monkees. And I used to hang out with my aunt a lot. She used to babysit me and my brother all the time. So I grew up watching the Monkees because of her. So growing up in the 80s, I became a big Monkees fan. They actually ended up doing a marathon. I think it was on like Nickelodeon or something like that. They did a whole Monkees marathon where they played like every episode from the 2 seasons. And she actually taped it for me on VHS. She taped it for me on TV, gave me the VHS tapes. So I grew up watching the Monkees. I used to watch those VHS tapes all the time. So I grew up with Davy Jones. So it was definitely upsetting to hear that he passed away. So I thought, okay, it's time to pay my respects. What am I going to watch? I wasn't going to watch the first season of the Monkees, which is all I own. I do not have the second season yet of that. But I wasn't going to watch the first season because I would never get through that in time. There's a lot of episodes. I also wasn't going to watch Head because I do not own Head, which Head's the Monkeys movie. I don't own that yet, unfortunately, so I couldn't watch that. So I started thinking, what movies do I have with Davy Jones in it? And the first thing that popped in my head was the Brady Bunch movie. I have not seen this movie in a good long while, and I actually ended up watching a Very Brady sequel too, because I haven't seen that in a while also. So I sat down and watched both movies back to back, and I guess I'll talk to you about both movies back to back, because why not? I enjoy these movies. I think they're a lot of fun. They're a great like throwback to the 90s, the mid-90s, when I watch, because they're from 95, 96. So when I watch these, it's like, it's great. I feel like I'm back in the mid-90s, which is probably my favorite time of being alive. I was in, I guess, high school at the time. I'm probably going into middle school and high school in the mid-90s. So the mid-90s to me are just fantastic. So watching this and going back and hearing all like the grunge music and seeing the way everybody's dressed, I absolutely love it. And I think they're great movies. I really do enjoy them. I think they do a pretty good job paying tribute to the Brady Bunch, the TV series, but at the same time, I think they tastefully make fun of it. They could have gone really over the top. They could have made it really cheesy. They could have like really bashed the TV series, and I don't think they did that. I think they, paid the respects enough, but at the same time made fun of it, but again, in a tasteful sort of way where they weren't totally bashing it. They were just saying, you know what's good about the show. You know what was ridiculous. You know what was over the top. You know all the typical cliches of the Brady Bunch. Here they are. Let's make fun of them. And there's nothing wrong with that. I really did enjoy the two movies. I remember the first time I ever saw them, I really liked them. I've seen them like a dozen times since. But it had been a few years since I checked them out, watched it, and just as good as when the first time I saw it. So I would recommend the two movies. They're just fantastic. They're a lot of fun to watch. As far as the first movie goes, it is sort of weird that it's the Brady Bunch, like the 1970s Brady Bunch, all of a sudden in 1995. They don't really say why they're there or what this 70s family is doing in 1995. They don't mention that. They're just sort of there, which I always thought was kind of weird. I mean, they don't set up like, oh, did they time travel or like, what? Why are they there? Nobody knows. So that's a little weird, but whatever. It works. It's fun to see this 70s family in 1995 and how they react to the modern world. I say modern because obviously that was like, what? God, oh my God, it's like 15 years ago. I'm so old. So, it's fun to watch them interact with the modern world and how, all the craziness that ensues because they think, basically they're still in the 70s when obviously they're not. My favorite character is definitely Mike. Because he constantly goes on his like rants, and I love it. He tries to just he says the most ridiculous stuff. He tries to give you a message and say something very smart, and it just comes off sounding ridiculous. And every time he opens his mouth, I'm just cracking up laughing. I love all the sexual innuendos between him and Carol. I think that's just hilarious. I think the casting was pretty good too. They did a pretty good job casting the kids to pretty much look like the kids from the original series. I think they did a pretty good job. So in the end, I thought it was a fantastic movie. I really didn't have anything wrong with the first one. It's simply about them. They're going to lose their house, and they got to raise the money. So they're coming up with crazy sort of ways to raise the money, and they end up joining up like a talent contest at the end and singing a song, and they win. Which I love how they make fun of that too, because they win it, but obviously they're not the best group there. And when they announce the winner, they're kind of like, wait, what? The Brady Bunch won? Which I think is pretty cool because, that's how the TV series was. Of course, they would win the money. And, of course, the amount they need to keep the house is the exact amount that you win from the contest. So that was funny. Again, just more making fun of the original series, which I think, again, they did pretty tastefully. So I really did enjoy the first movie. As far as A Very Brady sequel goes, which was the 1996, the next year they did another sequel, I thought that was a great movie, too. Not as good as the first movie. They could have. I mean, they pretty much got everything they wanted to get out in the first movie, so they were kind of doing the same stuff in the second movie. It's kind of just the first movie over again, but not quite as good. I would say the downfall with the movie is what ends up happening is you think Carol's husband comes back, because if you guys remember in the original series, they always had that. It was like a little horse statue in their living room. It was like up on a little shelf, or I guess a little cabinet. They had it on, and the idea of this movie is that That's worth a lot of money. There's apparently a pair of them, and they're worth like a boatload of money. So Carol's original husband ends up dying, but the guy who's with them, he's come back. He's posing as her husband. He basically just wants to steal the horse and make a lot of money off it. That's the entire idea. It's good. It's funny. It's, it's again, if you like the first movie, you're probably going to like the second movie. I see the downfall is that at the end of the movie, like the last 15 minutes of the movie, they go to Hawaii because I guess they wanted to make fun of the Hawaiian episode where the Brady Bunch goes to Hawaii. I suppose they want to make fun of that, which, it was funny, but I would have liked to have seen most of, if not a lot more of the movie take place in Hawaii, because, that's probably one of the best and most well-known Brady Bunch episodes is when they go to Hawaii. And I really would have liked to have seen more of that. I wish they would have made more fun of that. I wouldn't have minded if the whole movie was them making fun of that episode. That would have been great. That's the only downfall. I would have liked to have seen a hell of a lot of more of that than just like the last 15 minutes. But unfortunately, that's all we got. But all in all, it was a decent movie. So, yeah, I'd recommend them both. So if you haven't seen the movies, they're definitely worth checking out. You gotta kind of like, goofy mid-90s comedies. But if you enjoy them, you're definitely going to enjoy the movies. I don't have anything bad to say about them. They're not going to be for everybody, but they're definitely good movies. And if you do like the Brady Bunch, the TV series, you'll probably enjoy the movies and just how they tastefully make fun of the TV series. This is actually, as you can see, it's a Brady Bunch of movies for Groovy Films set. This actually comes with Brady Bunch movie, a Very Brady sequel. Then it also comes with a third movie, which is The Brady Bunch in the White House, which I have not yet seen. I was actually thinking about watching that one pretty soon, simply because I've never seen it. I believe it only has, the only characters that come back are Mike and Carol. I don't know if, I don't think any of the kids are the same kids. They might be, I could be wrong about that, but they might be all new characters, new actors playing those, playing the kids. I'm not sure. I heard it's not very good, but I think I'm still going to check it out just to see what it is, see what it's all about. And I'm curious if they, I know they're not going to do this probably, but at the end of the Very Brady sequel, they have, I don't know her name, but Jeannie from I Dream of Jeannie, she comes up and claims to be Mike's original wife, which is kind of like a joke because, the whole movie, it's that guy posing as Carol's original husband, and then at the end, she comes and says, I'm Mike's original wife, so that's like the joke. But I'm curious if they do anything about that in the Brady Bunch in the White House. I'm curious if they do anything about that, if they mention that that's how they left off the last movie. I'm sure they do not, but I'm curious to see that. And like I said, I'm just kind of curious to see the movie because I have seen the first two. It also comes with Growing Up Brady, which I believe is some like documentary about Barry Williams. I'll probably check that out eventually. I don't know. I guess I would assume it's just a documentary about him, but it probably talks about most of the Bradys too. So I'll probably watch that eventually also, but definitely looking forward to watching the third movie just to see what it's about. So again, I would definitely recommend the Brady Bunch movie and a Very Brady sequel. They're great movies. They're a lot of fun. They're goofy. They're ridiculous. They're, they're pretty cheesy, but they are a lot of fun. If you can just lay back, take them for what they are, you'll probably enjoy them. So that's it for what I bought and what I watched today. Definitely excited about my little haul from Pathmark. Again, if you have a Pathmark grocery store by you, I'd recommend hitting it up. They have a great DVD and Blu-ray section. It's really surprising some of the titles they have there. Every time I go in, I always find something new and something definitely worth picking up that I never seen in any other stores. And also watching the Brady Bunch movie and a Very Brady sequel. They're great. They're a lot of fun. I haven't seen them in a few years, and I'm definitely going to rewatch them because, again, they were a lot of fun. And with Davy Jones being in a Brady Bunch movie, which is, again, the reason why I decided to watch that, it was a nice way to pay tribute and watch a good movie at the same time. So I would definitely recommend them. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned to see what I bought and what I watch tomorrow. See ya.